Hi. I think it's safe to say that everybody has something they want to achieve, some goal they want to reach, or some task or situation they want to master. Sometimes what we want to achieve can be difficult, but many of us get past that by doing something like this.
If she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it.
But sometimes, this happens.
I can't do it.
Why does this happen? Today we're going to talk about a potential roadblock. Today we're going to talk about something that's not particularly easy to discuss or put your finger on. It exists beneath the surface, hidden, often overlooked. Today we're going to talk about self-efficacy. Albert Bandura, a major player in social cognitive theory, defined self-efficacy as the belief in one's capabilities to organize and execute the courses of action required to manage prospective situations. In other words, self-efficacy is one's belief in one's ability to achieve a goal or succeed in a particular situation.
Was that I went to graduate school later in life to become a journalist. So I started out later than other people, and I was always feeling like, oh, it's too late. Everybody else is young and I'm older. I was 28 years old when I got my master's degree. So I always felt like I was hurrying to catch up.
You have doubts. Sometimes you have doubts, but then you just keep on writing.
What kept you going?
You keep on writing, and then after a while I got discouraged. I used to send my work out and nobody would publish it. Then when I got one publisher and they said, "Oh, I love your poem. I wrote a poem called Fire Escape," and they said, "Oh, we're gonna publish it." I was so happy. But please forgive us. We're painting the office, and we'll let you know when we're publishing the poem. And I never heard back from them.
You know, when I was in high school, I actually grew up with a learning disability. I actually still have a learning disability, ADHD, and you know, I was always that kid, I guess you can say, in high school, that wouldn't do as well as the other students, and I would actually have to study maybe 10 times as hard to get around the same grades as people that didn't study. So, you know, it was tough for me when growing up, and well, sometimes, you know, I would go into a test just, you know, knowing that I didn't study for it because, you know, because of my ADHD, I get extremely frustrated with studying, and it takes me an enormous amount of time to learn certain material.
Bandura and other psychologists found that an individual's level of self-efficacy plays a major role in how the individual approaches a certain task or challenge. People with higher self-efficacy view challenging problems as something to be mastered, develop deeper interests in the activities in which they participate, form stronger commitments to their interests, and recover quickly from setbacks or disappointments. While people with lower self-efficacy avoid challenging tasks, believing that difficult tasks and situations are beyond their capabilities. They focus on personal failings and negative outcomes, and quickly lose confidence in personal abilities. According to Bandura, there are 4 major sources of self-efficacy: mastery experiences, social modeling, social persuasion, and psychological responses.
But I worked very hard. I worked daytime at a newspaper, and in the evening I did freelance writing. And I met people in my field who could help me and could show me how to do things that I wanted to do. I had very good friends who were journalists who accepted me. That was important. I found friends who were journalists. I learned from them. And as a professor, I've made a lot of friends who, so finding people who have similar goals and occupations is very important. There are people who are much better at all the things I do, and they inspire me. It's good to watch someone who is a fantastic teacher and to learn from them. You don't compare yourself to them. You just say, I'm good at what I do, but I can always improve and be better.
I always believed that one day that I was going to be famous and successful, that I was going to do something. I don't know why I wanted to be famous, but I always said I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be famous for doing something wonderful. I don't know. Then one time I wrote a musical. I wrote a play called Blind Date in college, and my teacher gave it to a composer to work with, and then he was running off with my material. So you know, it's struggle. It's you struggle, and I hope eventually that one day I will write a play. It made me not want to do my poetry. I just didn't want to do it anymore. But every once in a while, I'll write a poem. I'll do something. Everyone, something has to bring it up that makes me want to write.
Right.
And so you write, and you don't worry about if it gets published. For now, you don't worry. You just.
So, you know, because these tests were kind of, you know, putting me down in a way, it motivated me to work harder. Where, you know, I have a lot of strengths. I dedicated, I'd say, uncountable hours learning about this because it just fascinates me, and it's something that I truly believe I can leverage to become successful. The reason why, you know, the reason why I kept going was because I would still get customer validation from a lot of people. A lot of my friends thought it was an extremely viable business concept.
You learn to believe in yourself by your own accomplishments and looking for what your own talents are and developing them. You have to be strong and you have to return every time you make a mistake. Maybe you feel bad for about 10 minutes, then you need to come back and you need to just get in there and start doing it again. Because you look at the big picture, not the little mistakes.
Okay, but at that time, when you're going through those hard times, you don't think you're going to make it.
Right.
You really don't, because you're just trying to get through day by day.
Yeah.
And I think what holds you together is the foundation that your parents set. Follow a dream like mine, wanting to be a playwright. It's not only for me. Say if I can't get to do it, but I have a student that has the talent to write. You encourage that person to fulfill it, to do their dream, to go ahead, go with it, because it might not be for me to do it. You might not get to do it, but you'll help somebody else.
Right.
And in helping somebody else, you help yourself.
I always, you know, persevere and, you know that there's an answer for everything.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. True story.